Hello, Namaskar and welcome to Express News with me Deepika, your window to quick and crisp 100 news and updates from the country and the world. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates and lays foundation stone of multiple projects in Somnath via video conferencing. Prime Minister says Somnath Temple is source of inspiration as it has withstood numerous attacks in past, emphasizes that destructive powers may dominate for some times, but their existence is never permanent. In his address, Union Home Minister Amit Shah said that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has revived several schemes at various religious places under the Prashad scheme after becoming Prime Minister in the year 2014. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu visited HAL in Bengaluru today and interacted with the officers. He was taken around HAL where he checked out aircrafts, including light combat aircrafts. Vice President said we should strive for innovation which will pave way for development of the country. He said in future the vision is for making Indian an arms exporting nation. BJP National President JP Nadda began his two-day visit to Uttarakhand today. Party workers gave him a grand welcome at the Choli Grant Airport in Dehradun, where Chief Minister Pushkar Singh Dhami and other ministers were present. Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw visited the site for the new Raigad Railways Division and reviewed the divisional building plan. He also held an interaction with PMAY beneficiaries of the area. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh today flagged off 5 ambulances given by Borderless World Foundation for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. Borderless World Foundation is a non-profit NGO striving towards a vision of one great human family. Union Sports Minister Anurag Singh Thakur today flagged off the Fit India Run organised by Nehru Yuva Kendra from Peterhof, Shimla. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla today visited the parliamentary constituency of Kota Bundi. Women of Brahma Kumari family tied Rakhi to Om Birla in Lok Sabha camp office. MSME Ministry Narayan Rane began his Jan Ashirwad Yatra from Mumbai today. He was welcomed by the BJP leaders and office bearers, and a sense of confidence and enthusiasm was seen among them at the time of the beginning of the Jan Ashirwad Yatra. Union Energy Minister R.K. Singh began Jan Ashirwad Yatra in Aurangabad. Union Minister said that states have developed rapidly during the tenure of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Union Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw addressed rally as part of Jan Ashirwad Yatra in Odisha's Koraput. He also took part in local folk dance at Payakut village. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur received a rousing welcome by BJP workers at Shimla's Ghana Hatti during the Jan Ashirwad Yatra. Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia virtually flagged off the Indigo flight for Jabalpur-Delhi sector today. Democratization of the Indian aviation has been made possible in last 7 years under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In Assam, Himanta Biswa Sarma government has completed 100 days in office today. Chief Minister said that MOU will be signed in a bid to waive off microfinance loans. In Uttarakhand, NH 58 connecting Rishikesh, Srinagar has blocked near Shiv Murti, Tota Ghati and Sauda Pani due to a landslide. 2 terrorists were killed in an encounter in CRUDE in Pampore area of Jammu and Kashmir's Avantipora. The search operation turned into an encounter after the terrorists opened fire. National Investigation Agency has launched an investigation into the delivery of a sophisticated tiffin bomb along with hand grenades and 100 pistol cartridges using a drone by Pakistan-backed Khalistani terrorists earlier this month. The Ashura-e-Muharram is being observed with due reverence and solemnity in various parts of the country today. In latest vaccination update, more than 57 crore 22 lakh vaccine doses of COVID-19 have been administered in the country under the nationwide vaccination drive so far. Over 54 lakh 71,000 vaccine doses were administered to the beneficiaries in the last 24 hours across the country. The country has reported 36,571 new cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Active caseload currently stands at 3,63,605, which is the lowest in 150 days. Also, the testing capacity across the country continues to expand. The last 24 hours saw a total of 18.86 lakh tests being conducted. India has so far conducted over 50.26 crore cumulative tests. Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath took stock of COVID-19 situation with Team 9 in Lucknow today. The weekend curfew on Sunday will not be imposed now and markets will open normally like weekdays. Meanwhile, the night curfew in the state from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. in state will continue. The Gujarat government has decided to suspend the COVID-19 vaccination drive on Sunday on the occasion of Raksha-Bandhan. The state government said the step is taken so the women health workers involved in the inoculation drive can celebrate Raksha-Bandhan with their families. The Andhra Pradesh government has extended the night curfew till 4th of September to contain the spread of COVID-19 cases in the state. The decision was taken after a thorough review of the COVID-19 situation and keeping in view the number of positive cases. In Karnataka, Department of Public Instruction has released protocols for the reopening of offline classes from standard 9th to 12th from 23rd of August. Only those districts which record COVID positivity rate below 2% are allowed to reopen physical classes following the SOPs. The Meghalaya government has decided to lift restrictions on public transport services and sporting activities from next week after a gap of almost 3.5 months. The state has also granted permission for reopening of cinema halls and public parks across the state. The state government clarified that some of these facilities might only be available to those who have taken the COVID-19 vaccine. No deaths due to COVID-19 was recorded in Delhi today, while 57 fresh new cases were reported with a positivity rate of 0.08%. This is the 11th time since the starting of the second wave of the pandemic in the national capital that zero fatality has been logged in a day. The 30-share SENSEX dropped 300.17 points on Thursday to end at 55,329.32. The Nifty Share 50 also declined 118.35 points to end at 16,450.50. The prices of gold fell by 21 rupees on the MCX to end at 47,148 rupees per 10 gram. Prices of silver also fell by 326 rupees on the MCX to end at 61,827 rupees. The Indian rupee fell 15 paise to close at 74.39 against US dollar. Brent crude futures, the global oil benchmark, fell 0.59% to USD 66.06 per barrel. Diesel prices were reduced for the third consecutive day, while petrol prices continue to remain unchanged. In the national capital, diesel was sold for 89.27 rupees per litre, 20 paise lower than the previous level. Petrol prices was at 101.84 rupees per litre. India achieved a significant increase of 44.3% in export of agricultural and processed food products in the 2021-22 April-June in comparison to the corresponding period of 2020-21, according to WTO's trade map. With the total agri exports of 37 billion USD in the year 2019, India is ranked at 9th position in the world ranking. According to the estimates released by the Directorate General of Commercial Intelligence and Statistics, the overall export of APIDA products increased from 3,338.5 million US dollars in April-June 2020 to 4,817.9 million US dollars in April-June 2021. As per the estimates, the exports of fresh fruits and vegetables registered a 9.1% growth, while shipment of processed food products like cereals, preparations and processed items reported a growth of 69.6%. In April-June 2020-21, fresh fruits and vegetables were exported to the tune of $584.5 million, which rose to $637.7 in April-June 2021-22. The world continues to battle COVID-19 pandemic. The total number of infection has surpassed the 21 crore mark. Over 21 crore 8,90,000 cases have been reported so far globally, while the recovery stand above 18 crore 88 lakh and 14,000. The deadly virus has claimed over 44 lakh and 18,000 lives globally. The United States remains to be the worst hit by the pandemic, with over 3 crore 82 lakh and 31,000 cases reported so far. The death toll in the country has climbed to over 6 lakh and 43,000. In Australia, COVID-19 curbs have been tightened in a bid to combat the surge in number of COVID-19 cases. The country has extended lockdown through September. Australia has reported the highest single-day spike in the number of new cases. Australia recorded 754 new cases on Thursday, breaking its record of 738 cases during the second wave in 2020. In New Zealand, 11 new cases were reported on Thursday. New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has linked the spike in number of COVID-19 cases to recent passengers returning from Sydney. Jacinda Ardern added that lab tests had revealed the current positive cases were a close match to the returnee who arrived on a flight on 7th of August. In Mexico, COVID-19 cases accelerate, hitting record highs with official number of fatalities crossing 2,50,000, one of the highest death toll in the world. Health authorities have warned that the actual number of cases and death is likely 60% above the official data. Bangladesh has reopened all tourist places across the country after a COVID-19 induced closure of 5 months. However, tourists will not be allowed to enter tourist places without face masks. The government has allowed reopening of all tourist spots, community centers, resorts and recreation with 50% capacity from 19th of August. Bangladesh government has also facilitated with mobile courts to monitor the strict adherence to COVID-appropriate behavior at public places. The country has over 14,47,000 cases of COVID-19 with more than 24,000 fatalities so far. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar chairs the UNSC briefing on threats to international peace and security caused by terrorist attacks in New York. He expresses solidarity with victims of terrorism, highlighted the need to never countenance terrorist centuries nor lack courage to call out those who extend terrorist state hospitality. External Affairs Minister also reiterates 8-point action plan to credibly address the menace of terrorism and full support for counter-terrorism cooperation under the auspices of UN. In shocking development, Taliban fighters in Afghanistan have shot and killed a relative of a Deutsche Welle journalist while hunting for him. According to the German public broadcaster, the terrorists were conducting a house-to-house search for the journalist, who now works in Germany. NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg convenes an extraordinary virtual meeting of NATO foreign ministers to discuss the situation in Afghanistan. Thousands of Afghans, including many women and children, continue to wait outside Kabul airport, desperately waiting for a chance to flee the country. Hamid Karzai International Airport is the only way one can leave Afghanistan. In a heart-wrenching video capturing the sense of desperation, a small child was lifted up over the high perimeter wall and passed on to the hands of an American soldier. People are fearful of what the Taliban's sudden return to power will mean. Amid the chaos, people are coming onto streets to protest against the Taliban. More anti-Taliban protests have taken place in several cities. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has said that the Taliban's desire for international recognition and the Security Council's only leverage to press for inclusive government and respect for rights, particularly for women in Afghanistan. In the earthquake hit Haiti, hospitals in the country's northern Lesquay were swarmed with patients for treatment. Corridors and tents were being set up outside the overwhelmed buildings of hospitals. Meanwhile, a foreign food aid slowly trickled into more rural areas of southwestern Haiti. Hundreds of people lined up to receive provisions from the UN World Food Programme at a camp in the rural town of Camp Perin for people displaced by Saturday's 7.2 magnitude earthquake. Tropical storm Grace dumped 4 to 8 inches rains on Mexico's Caribbean coast. However, it appeared to have spared local tourist resorts serious damage as it moved across the Yucatan Peninsula into the Gulf of Mexico, where it was due to strengthen again. In Bolivia, Grace pumped heavy rains, strong winds and hail across the city of Riberalta in Beni province. The storm has affected buildings and houses. In a dramatic video on social media, the roof of a local commerce can be seen lifted off by the wind and landing on the street. However, the storm has not caused any injury or loss of life across the country. The death toll from an attack on civilians and the military in northern Burkina Faso has risen to 80 people. The attack occurred when Islamist militants raided a civilian convoy that was being escorted by military police near the town of Arbenda, the latest in a spate of attacks across West Africa's Sahel region this month. Clashes broke out in the Peruvian town of HUARAZ after police carried out an operation to remove street vendors from a local market. Street vendors threw sticks at police officers armed with riot shields and batons to try to impede the authorities from removing them from the area and confiscating their merchandise. Singapore's postal service is planning to completely overhaul its fleet of more than 800 vehicles. The country's largest delivery fleet is moving to be fully electric in the next 5 years, with its first green vehicles hitting the roads today. Over 800 motorcycles, scooters and vans will make the switch over in the next 5 years. Tesla CEO Elon Musk has announced that company will probably have a prototype of a humanoid robot called Tesla Bot by the year 2022. He has said that the robot would eliminate dangerous, repetitive and boring tasks now performed by humans. The robot with a human-like appearance would carry out the physical work that people like to do the least. With profound implications for the economy, the Tesla Bot will be 5 foot 8 inches tall and move at a maximum of 8 kilometers per hour. For decades, the inhabitants of Chile's Sotomo have survived by catching mussels and fish to sell at markets, a 5-hour round trip away by boat. Now it is one of 2 places in Chile to be chosen for a pilot project run by billionaire Elon Musk, chief executive of SpaceX, to receive free internet for a year. Facebook Inc. has launched a test of a new virtual reality remote work app where users of the company's Oculus Quest 2 headsets can hold meetings as avatar versions of themselves. The beta test of Facebook's Horizon Workrooms app comes as many companies continue to work from home after the COVID-19 pandemic shut down physical workspaces and as a new variant is sweeping across the globe. Facebook sees its latest launch as an early step towards building the futuristic metaverse. Since the resurgence of the COVID-19 pandemic at the end of April in Vietnam, the demand for remote healthcare and medical consultation has been increasing. To help doctors and medical experts connect with patients remotely, a mobile app called Help Me was developed by 4 Vietnamese startups. After downloading the mobile app, users need to follow instructions provided to receive medical assistance via text message or video call. Thousands of medical experts and highly qualified doctors have joined the Help Me project to provide remote support to people in need around the clock. Just days after the first Asian giant hornet sighting of the year, State Department of Agriculture employees from Washington and Oregon gathered in an open-air classroom just a few miles south of the Canadian border to learn how to trap, track and eradicate the invasive species. Once spotted, these hornets are tracked to its nest so that its queen and other hornets can be destroyed, ideally before reproducing. Climate change has troubled many. For an American beekeeper, the story is no different. A scorching drought is slashing honey production in North Dakota, the top honey-producing state. John Miller, a beekeeper, is bearing the brunt. These bees are feeding on food crops and cannot produce the amount of honey expected by the keepers. Miller expects less than 30 pounds of harvestable honey per colony from his roughly 16,000 hives this summer, down from around 50 pounds in recent years and least in 52 years. A sculpture made of butter is grabbing eyeballs in New York. The annual butter sculpture has been unveiled with great fanfare at the New York State Fair. Sponsored by the American Dairy Association, the sculpture has been made of 800 pounds of butter dedicated to teens and getting back to life as normal after the coronavirus pandemic. It took artists Jim Victor and Mary Pelton 10 days to make the sculpture, which is titled Back to School, Sports and Play. You are going to need milk for that. The sculpture features teenagers in a cafeteria, soccer field and gaming at home, and is intended to promote the role of dairy in getting kids back to nearly normal activities. The wait is finally over as Singapore's giant panda pair of Kai Kai and Gia are now parents. Gia have given birth to the firstborn in Singapore panda cub at the river safari. The newborn is tiny, weighing just 200 grams. Mother and cub are housed in an off Exhibit 10 for now to allow them to nurse and bond. India's Satyan Ganesakaran and Manika Batra have won the mixed doubles title at the World Table Tennis Contender Budapest 2021. Shaili Singh is through to the long-jump finals with the best jump across both groups in her qualification round. Shaili's best score of 6.40 meter in qualification surpassed automatic qualification mark of 6.35 meters. The Board of Control for Cricket has released a new schedule for domestic cricket in which it has been decided to hold the Ranji Trophy early next year. Team India continues to shine in Junior World Wrestling Championship 2021 in Ufa, Russia in the ongoing championship. Tokyo 2020 organizers held a flame gathering ceremony 5 days before the opening ceremony of the Paralympic Games. 3 separate flames gathered from 62 municipalities across the host city were combined into one during the ceremony. The Paralympic symbol was installed in Tokyo Bay ahead of the Paralympic Games 2020 scheduled for 24th of August till 5th of September. An error-prone Naomi Osaka was stunned 3-6, 6-3, 6-3 by Jill Teichmann in the third round of the Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati Open. 12th seed Felix Auger-Aliassime of Canada reached the quarterfinals of the Cincinnati ATP Masters 1000 Series event after defeating 5th seed Italian Matteo Berrettini by 6-4, 6-3. PSG manager Mauricio Pochettino says that Lionel Messi may be in the Paris Saint-Germain squad for their League One visit to Brest, although remain tight-lipped on whether Messi would finally make his debut. Arsenal have agreed a deal with Real Madrid for attacking midfielder Martin Odegaard will not be available for Sunday's Premier League matches with Chelsea. After Veere the Wedding, actors Swara Bhaskar and Shikha Talsania will be seen sharing screen space in the film Jahan Charyar. They have resumed the movie's shoot, which was earlier halted due to the second wave of COVID-19. Filmmaker-producer Karan Johar has finally returned to the director's chair as he commenced the first shoot schedule of his much-anticipated film Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani, starring actors Ranveer Singh and Alia Bhatt. Late actor Surekha Sikri's last film, Kya Meri Sonam Gupta Bewafa Hai, will come out on ZEE5 soon. Actor Siddhant Chaturvedi, who will be seen unleashing his action side with Yudhra, has started shooting for the film. Actor Peter Gollifer has joined the cast of Grey's Anatomy Season 18 that will debut on ABC Next this month. American singer and songwriter Kanye West has announced a third public listening session for his still unreleased Donda album at the 60,000 plus capacity Soldier Field Stadium in his hometown of Chicago on 26th of August. Country music star Garth Brooks has cancelled his remaining stadium tour dates in 5 cities due to the rising COVID-19 cases across the United States. Uppercut, a female boxing movie from Germany, will open this year's Oldenburg Film Festival, Germany's leading event for independent cinema. Daniel Craig, known for playing James Bond in the hit action thriller franchise, has become the world's highest paid screen taker. Actor taking home a whopping $100 million thanks to Netflix deals. And lastly, next year's Academy of Country's Music Awards will stream live on Amazon.com's Prime Video, the first major awards show to move exclusively online, organizers have said. And that's all for now in this bulletin, but news continues here on DD India. Keep watching. Namaskar.